Welcome back, I'm Dr. Ruckus, and today in Top 200 Mythic, we're playing the best deck in Standard. It got even better. It's Ixalan Mono White Humans. Let's talk about it. There are some very interesting things here to talk about, I think. Number one, first and foremost, Caverns of Souls. This card has made the game worse, in my opinion. Add 1 mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type. That spell can't be countered. Counter spells were already a very small proportion of the meta. You get some Make Disappears in there, maybe in Esper Legends, maybe some control decks run counter spells, but they don't even run that often there. And the only deck that really runs counter spells is Mono Blue Tempo, which isn't played all the time and it has its own special, probably player base that like it a lot. And in my opinion, this card makes that deck unplayable, because if you're playing Mono Blue Tempo and you see Caverns of Souls on turns 1 or 2 or 3, there's some time to play it, that shuts down your entire deck. That's it. You just can't counter the Brutal Cathar, which means your Jin is gone, and that's basically it. So I think this is bad for the meta. I think counterspells are an interesting and diversifying part of the ecosystem, and to have this card, I just don't think it's good for the game. I think what this has to be is a commander card, because people want to play their merfolk, commander or whatever, and they don't want it to be countered, because countering things isn't fun, especially if it's your commander. I think this is what that's for, but I think it's bad for Standard. So this card definitely makes the deck better. The cost is basically 0, and now your stuff just can't be countered. So it's an absolute 4 of. Unfortunately, it's a mythic, but it does just strictly make the deck better with no downside. All right, then we get to some more interesting stuff. My deck that I ran to number 2 Mythic with a 70% win rate is on untapped.gg with like 3,500 games, and it's got a 58.8% win rate there. There's a deck on untapped.gg that actually has a 62% win rate or something. It only has 1,000 games, so the sample size is not big enough to draw anything, but I have to check it out. And that deck is running 3 copies of Warden of the Inner Sky and 4 copies of the Evangelist. So I have to try these out. On the surface, I don't think they look better than what I have, but definitely worth trying out. Warden's interesting. Yeah, my camera's blocking it. All right, let's put it over here. So Warden is a 1-mana 1/2 human soldier. As long as it has 3 or more counters on it, it has flying and vigilance. That's a lot of counters to add. 3 counters is a lot. You can tap 3 untapped artifacts and or creatures you control to put a +1 counter on the Warden. Then you scry 1, activate only as a sorcery, which is probably important they added that line of text. So this is interesting. It's competing with lots of good 1-drops. It competes with Skrelv. It competes with Veteran. It competes with the Hopeful Initiate. It competes with the Recruitment Officer. I don't think it's better than any of them. You get rewarded for tapping your creatures, which means not attacking with them. Whereas by contrast, the Hopeful Initiate rewards you by attacking, which is what you want to be doing anyway. Its best situation is when you deploy things onto the battlefield and they have Summoning Sickness. You're not doing anything with those cards that turn anyway, except maybe blocking mono red. So if you're not going to do anything with them, you can then tap them that very same turn to put the +1 counter on it. Kind of similar to Knight Errant rewards you for playing things out. You can then tap them that very same turn with Convoke. So that is some upside. You only get a +1 counter, and you get a Scry 1, which is interesting. But this card did not impress me today, and I think as of today with the meta, you are still playing 4 copies of the Veteran. This could change at some point in time, and I'll let you know if it changes at some point in time. But for now, as long as mono white and mono red are huge players, this card just does so much in any creature-based matchup. Basically, it gives you enough time to pull off the Knight Errant, which turns your aggro deck into a mid-range deck, and you just are a better mid-range deck than every other mid-range deck out there. So it's really core right now. It could change, but this card's great. And then Hopeful Initiate rewards you for attacking, and Recruitment Officer is insane because it lets you do nothing on your turn, flip the Cathar, get an extra card, and then flip back the next turn. So it's a core part of the strategy. So I don't think the Warden makes the slot. The Evangelist is interesting as well. It's slightly better than I thought, because it is 3 bodies in 1. It's a 3-mana 2/1. You get a bat immediately, and then you get another bat when this thing dies. And when it attacks, not when it passively enters the battlefield, but if you can attack with the Evangelist, you also get a Pump Squad. Not for itself, but each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, so you have another Pump Squad effect on it. It is not a human, it's a Vampire Cleric, so it doesn't benefit from the Vanguard, but it is yet another Pump Squad effect for the deck, and it also pumps out quite a bit of creatures onto the battlefield. But the 3-drop slot for mono white is incredibly competitive. We're already trying to fit in 4 Brutal Cathars and 4 Adelines, and outside of that, you could also run the Peacekeeper, which is very, very good. So, yeah, I tried it out today. Net, I don't think this is worth it either. I think you have to, without question, run 4 Brutal Cathars, because in any creature-based matchup, this is the tipping point. Some combination of Cathars, Skrelv, and Knight Errants are what allow you to tip the scales in your favor in those kind of drawn-out grindy aggro games. I think you have to run 4 copies of Ixalan because this card is just insane on the play. Even with the legendary rule, it's a must have. So that means you are adding additional 3-drops to your deck, which means you probably also need to run a higher land count. I ran 23 lands today. And I don't really think the payoff is worth it. Instead of this, I would go back to running 4 copies of the Intrepid Adversary, which is, you know, great on 2. Again, against mono red. It's a lifelinker. If they can't answer it, you get to swing for 3 lifelink every turn. That matters. And then, of course, the curve, going 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop Ixalan into 4-drop Adversary, pump the squad, is just ends the game on the spot. So I don't think I would run the Evangelist. Although I'm interested why that deck has 62% win rate. Let me know if you think I'm wrong and if these are better than I think. But my evaluation is neither of them are worth it. The last card is Ixalan. This is the most controversial card in my opinion because it competes for space with the Spellbook Vendor. I think you go 4 Thalia, 4 Vanguard, probably 4 Adversary, and then either 1 to 2 Ixalans and or Spellbook Vendors. This is very close, but I've thought about this a lot. I spent the last 10-15 minutes just sitting in my chair here thinking about this, and this is what I think. On the play, this card is disgusting because you go turn 2, you drop Ixalan, they play a 2-drop or whatever, and then you turn 3, if you slam Cathar and take their blocking creature, or you play a Vanguard and pump it up to a 3/3, then you just get to attack. And this card is very close to reading 2 mana, 2/3, human, whenever you attack with it, draw a card. That's roughly what it says. I mean, if it's any of this stuff, it's basically 60% of the time you draw a card, and the other 40%, maybe that's a Knight Errant on top, which you probably want to leave on top, or it's a land, which you can leave on top if you want to pump the squad with the Intrepid Adversary, or just bin it if you don't need it. It's very close to a 2 mana, 2/3 attack draw card. That's really good. The Spellbook Vendor is much better late, as you saw in the the run to number 2 Mythic. It is a mana sink late game. You can put it on different things. You can put the Scry counter on the Ixalan. The Ixalan is very hard to block, and it has Vigilance, so that is powerful. You can distribute it with your mana late game, so it definitely has some late game power. But ultimately, if you can determine the game on turn 2. I think you have to do that. I think you have to play that card. I think if you go anything 1-drop, Ixalan 2-drop, pretty much anything 3-drop, and you could attack with Ixalan and just draw a card and get value out of it, I think that's really good. So I'm down for Ixalan. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. It's very close between that and Spellbook Vendor. I wouldn't waste your wild cards on it if you don't have that many. The map token is almost useless, almost would never happen. I think it's free enough you can put 4 brush lands in there. I wouldn't do more than that. Maybe it comes out. I don't think you'll take that much pain land damage because you have so much other white mana sources. Maybe it'll come up relevant in some matchups. Yeah, that's my verdict. Let me know what you think. Enjoy the gameplay. Let's dive right in. On the draw, no 1-drop. Still probably good here. Frugal. Do nothing though. That's all right with me. Well, let's see if they heal this thing. Could be slow dinos. The 3 mana 2/3. It's not the 6/6. The Evangelist spits out another creature for the Knight Errant immediately without attacking. That's kind of interesting. Enters a battlefield or dies. No attacks. This is interesting, but we have time to deal with this. Chomp there. Okay. Get their land. And the frill back. More land for us. So we can play Ixalan and Knight Errant this turn, which I think is what we want to do. Yeah, it's interesting. The Evangelist pumping out that extra creature does let you Knight Errant a little more easily. Okay, what do we need here? I don't think you need the Warden every turn. I think Pump Squad and more Evangelists with Flyers is probably good here. Not sure we need Thalia. They'll have some chomps, but not that many, right? Alright, they do the thing. They get some dinos. Eventually they get what? Double Strike? What does this thing do? Double Strike and Trample eventually. There's a little while until then. The attack all button here isn't that bad, especially with the Pump Squad on top. I think I'm okay with that. Alright, that's a lot of damage. Get some nice triggers here. Put it into your graveyard. Yeah, I'll put the land into the graveyard. It does let us double spell this coming turn, which is actually quite good. I guess we can decline. Single block. Double block. All right, they leave us with Kellen. And all of their resources are gone. They're down to 12. And we get a 1/1 bat. Okay, I'm definitely trying out the Evangelist here. I mean, it's a tough spot. The 3 drops in white have always been incredibly competitive. Real back. These are not artifacts or enchantments. So what happens? Next turn, search your library for a dinosaur, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. All right. Human here. Add a line. Evangelist. Probably leave the adversary back at this point. Draw a card. Kellen, showing its value. Free block there. Drop down to 9. They get to go search your library for a dino card. So if they hit the 7th land, they can, oh, does it keep that ability? Okay, I would have thought it disappeared after phase 2, but it looks like it might keep it for phase 3. That means they could definitely cast a Tali here. Bad tokens adding up. One on enter the battlefield, one on die. Like, it's interesting. All right, to Carnosaur instead. Let's see if they play it or just cycle it. All right, channel it for 3 damage. Reduce the pump squad. We still have a massive board state left over. Knight Errant again. I think it's excessive at this point. I don't think we need to do that. Let's just go with Thalia plus the Evangelist. We have extremely strong attacks here. All right, let's get everyone in there. I don't think you need to Knight Errant here. These things do not have double strike yet, so we'll just hit the attack all button. Get all the triggers. It's nice that Adeline orders first. You can take the action here. Put it in the graveyard. Next time we need to be more careful. Ideally, you get the human out first, and then have the Evangelist pump them all. Chump chump. And down to -1. All right. I mean, Kellen's good. It's obviously good on the play. You can know that from reading the card. Is the Evangelist good? Oh boy, we need some more games here. On the draw, we'll keep Lazy Turtle. It's blue. Okay. I think you go Warden then. I mean, no, you guess you go Skrelv here no matter what. Yeah, we'll see if it's actually mono blue. Probably Azorius if I had to guess. Opponent looking at that Fading Hope. Consider, it is mono blue. Well, if we hit Cavernous Souls, I think you just win. If they cannot counter any of our creatures, I think that's game. No, but we'll go for the first Thalia here. Yeah, because we have the next one. We want one of these to resolve. Alright, so let's go. Resolves, that's huge. Been in a gate, makes sense. They could bounce this thing, so I guess we go no tax to defend from Fading Hope. It's close. You could probably get in there with an attack, but I'm okay doing it this way. Adeline is counterable, but we can't triple spell anyway. I think we try to double spell this turn instead, which means we can attack with Thalia first, just see if they do anything. Then we could maybe cast Adeline after the fact. I don't think we need the Warden Scry this turn. There is a clock. At some point they drop a giant Jinn. They do just win, so we can't sit here and do nothing. Alright, well, we'll try Veteran. And we'll get the Warden out as well. See if they want to counter either of these things. My guess is no. And we'll keep our Skrelv shields up, I think. I don't want them to bounce Thalia. Because even if they slam the Jinn here, they consider instead very expensive, yeah. Even if they slam Jin here with 4 mana, the Thalia taxes them. So they're effectively tapped out. Like, they're not going to have to counter anything. Alright, they're Fading Hope you now. So what does that mean? There's one more Fading Hope in hand? We can definitely protect the Thalia against blue. I don't know that it's necessarily worth it, but I don't mind taking the damage here. Maybe they have 3 Fading Hopes and I'm going to use all 3. What color did I even pick? I don't even remember picking. Hopefully I picked blue. I don't think I was looking. I was talking too much. I don't know if I picked blue or not. I don't remember picking anything. Alright, the Fading Hope now in response. That's okay. So they had to use all their mana. Maybe they wanted to Fading Hope for 1 and also consider for 1. So I would consider that a win on our part. So you really want to get down Thalia again here. Adeline's very good though. I think resolving Adeline's even more important than Thalia. Because once it's down, it even gets through the Jin here. So, let's get it down. And we'll get in with everything. Get Adeline moving. Down to 15, but Thalia's gone. Witness Protection. Goodness gracious. Loses all abilities. Okay. Well, no reason to deploy things before combat then. I guess you can just attack here first. 4 damage is still not nothing. I don't see a whole lot of stick. I think they just have counter spells. So, we'll run out the Thalia and the Skrelv as well. Yeah, there's a counter. 2 mana open. We'll try Skrelv here. Resolves. No stick. Okay, so what's in hand? Just 3 mana spells. Either Jin's or whatever the draw spell is. It's like Thirst of Knowledge or something. Flow of Knowledge. There's the big boy. But they're tapped out here. We get to resolve the next Thalia as well. Land, potentially a Fading Hope open. Okay, we can cast everything. Not that the life gain matters too much, but we'll go ahead and do all this stuff. There's no 1 mana creature counter, so we can do it in this order just fine. And everyone except Skrelv can go. And we can still use the Warden of the Sky here, which is interesting. Down to 7. And you can tap these 3. That's use of it for sure. Land on top we don't need. Yeah, I think this is one of the best uses of this card. Cards that come in with Summoning Sickness now can actually do something. It's a little extra value, but the Hopeful Initiate rewards you for attacking, which is what you want to be doing anyway. And then obviously the whatever the 1 mana 2/1 soldier is, it's fantastic. Flipping Brutal Cathars. Skrelv is essential. I don't think this is better than any of those cards. And the veteran is essential in the meta right now. If we get to a point where mono red is nerfed, or there's just like so many things crushing mono red that it's played less, maybe you can get rid of the veteran. But for today, for now, like the meta, as I showed in my run to #1 Mythic, the veteran is just crucial for now, but we'll see. On the draw, looks great. Home on. Mono red. So spear. Cool, cool. Veteran to start. Alright, removal immediately. It's expensive though. They just spent 3 damage killing this thing, so we saved 3 life there. Down to 17. It's just Thalia then. Now we're gonna need some land. Nah, no blocks. We'll keep Thalia around. Okay, what else you got? Embereth Veteran. Another Embereth Veteran. That's interesting. 3/1 First Striker is a little more fearsome, but this thing could be picked off at instant speed. I think you get Skrelv going here. And that's all. I don't want to tap the board. Alright, attack all. Thalia can trade here. This is fine. We could offer the Warden for a veteran and trade it with a Monstrous Rage, basically, even though the thing sticks. I think we'll wait one more turn, because the blocks get better with the Vanguard around. So let's just run it like this. They might sack the veteran here and put the token. Yeah, that's interesting. Still, save 2 points of damage. Drop down to 13. 1 mana open. They have a playable. It's a Scamp. That picks off Thalia, which is really bad. We do it the next land, though. Human. We could Brutal Cathar the Scamp. Let's see. When it dies, you get the trigger. That keeps Thalia around. I guess you can protect Thalia with Skrelv, though. The Evangelist is really good because it blocks so many things, and we get a lot of value out of it. I think it's going to take a lot of resources on their part to deal with the Evangelist. I don't think we're attacking. Scamp can get through and pick off Thalia. That's annoying, but the Evangelist is 3 creatures in 1. That's pretty good against mono red. Alright, here comes the squad. Interesting. So they're only going to cast one thing here. Monstrous Rage doesn't change your toughness because you already have a hero roll. So you're good to block here. You can block the 1/1. They're probably going to sack it anyway. You can block here pretty safely. We can just let the Swift Spirit through. Or we can chump block with the 1/1. But our life total's not in that much danger yet. Let's just do it like this unless you want to chump block the Swift Spirit with the 1/1. Let's just do it like this. So they can pick off Thalia here with the Scamp dying, but that's okay. Okay, Rage goes there. Maybe that's what we should have blocked with Thalia, actually. I think that was a slight misplay on my part. Are they going to sack the veteran here? It's a lot of damage, actually. A little bit of mental jujitsu. I have not. We drop to 9. They sack the Scamp and go face. They do. We're down to 5, just like that. I don't think I played that very well. We'll go Cathar here. And take the last creature, but we're down to 5. Okay, I have to turn the corner really quickly. And a 13. They don't have a lot of mana. It's 4. That's enough to both play with fire. 2 things? Still not lethal, though. Flip to Nightside, then. Okay, we'll play out the Veteran and the Vanguard. Pump the board slightly. There aren't that many humans out. Let's see if they can go back-to-back Lightning Strike. Down to 5. If a creature dies, we do gain a life off the Phantom. Face. Down to 2. Alright, could be game. Let's see if they have to play with fire. Down to 1. Lightning Strike face. I don't think we played that very well. I think we should have spent more time thinking about the veteran triggers. I think there was one, if we didn't think about the Scamp, the Monstrous Rage going on the Scamp, and we could have blocked that with Thalia instead, and that would have been a better block. So that was a mistake. I make mistakes sometimes. That was a bad one, I think. On the play, no 1-drop. We'll keep this. All right, Noob Jungle. Blue Pirates. You get the first Kellen in there. Go Kellen out of line attack. It's going to be a strong sequence. Mono Blue Pirates. It's the Schooner, which they can crew to make a 3/4 blocker. Attacking not looking as good now. It's just the Adeline then. Okay, no 3/4 blocker then. Surge Engine. Alright. It's unblockable. Cathar is nice in general. I think you're just going Knight Errant here. They'd have to double block. I don't think they're going to double block Adeline. Okay, let's see it. I think this is a free attack here. If they do double block, and then we're fine with that as well. Crew you to make a 3-4. Maybe just eat the 2-1 for free is what I'm guessing here. No, they do want a double block. Okay. Schooner's interesting. Eventually they'll run out of creatures if we Brutal Cathar. I did not think they would actually do that, though. I guess taking out the Schooner does open up some attacks here. Okay. That's it for this turn, though. We can still Night Errant next turn, but I didn't really think they would do that. No attacks. All right. I think they would just want to flash in the pirate. I think that's all they want to do here. Let's see if there's any stick. I do have a counter. Okay. Yeah, decline. I think you just take this opportunity to Night Errant here. You could attack with the Ixalan to get the trigger, but this is very big anyway. Cool. I mean, Cathars are good in this matchup, I think. Thalia against them is okay. I think you just take the Cathars. This should largely be a creature deck. I haven't played against Mono Blue. I haven't played this Mono Blue version though. Maybe they're doing more stuff. I mean, obviously they're on Mage Spear. I'd assume that would have been the Pirate Siren, but I think I misunderstood what was going on. I thought they were going to be pirates, but in fact they're just blue artifacts. On the draw, this looks okay. I don't think you start Warden here. I mean, we want to attack. It's mono red. They didn't do anything though. You could let them kill the Warden. We want to keep the Veteran alive. There's no stick. Okay, we'll try this out. No sticks, we can go for it there. There's no play with fire immediately. Human. Oh, okay. Naya humans? Oh boy. This is a Viashino rogue. I don't know what's going on here anymore. I guess, I mean, they want to treasure ramp into something. They're naming humans though. I think you want to go Thalia here instead. We can probably offer the trade. When it dies, create a treasure token. I guess they want it to die. Sure. It's gonna die either way. I have to get through it somehow. Well, we don't know what the opponent's up to. They're ramping, but they also want to play humans. And they want to play angels. And they want to play clerics. Okay. Probably name the Vanguard here, I imagine. Yep. Alright, so this is our first look at the Warden here. We could attack for free because we have a Ganjo, but that's not really what we want to do. I think you play the Warden. And you play the Kellen. And then, yeah, use the Warden here. Just get the counter on this guy. Okay. Shield's down. Adeline. She's a big girl. We'll keep that. So that's an interesting use case. We got to tap at the turn it came down. We didn't have anything better to do. Pros for the Warden. Virtue. That's okay with me. 2 Vigilance. 3 Vigilance. Pump Squad isn't bad here. I think that's what's next. Swing with both. It's a creature on top. Nice. Straight to the hand. Trade. We're in Mythic. I'm just double checking. This is a bizarre deck. This is a really bizarre deck. I don't know what's going on there. On the draw, this is actually an awkward hand. We can name human and do nothing on one. We don't have double white for Adeline either. You have to hit that next land. Okay, we can try it. Or Zav. Alright, that's good. Human. Gives us a 1-drop and a 2-drop then. Esper. There's stick. I mean, ideally they use cut down now. Nope. If they're going to counter something, I think you still go for Thalia here in case they don't have Make to Spear. But it's going to be Make to Spear or Cut Down here, or both. Mastermind. All right. Let's see if they can go for Fiend on 3. We do have the Cathar eventually. Ah, yes, uncounterable. All right, so in that case, let's just get the Adeline down. Uncounterable is amazing. Whew, that's so good. That's so good versus certain decks. I still maintain I don't think this card should have been printed. Counterspells weren't even that good to begin with, and I just really don't see a reason to play them if you can't counter any creature decks anymore. Shelly, that's a card. We have the Cathar and a land. Okay, take you. Get in there. See if they have removal before we get the Scroll of Summoning Sickness off. Scoop, they do not. Yeah, Caverns Souls. I don't think it should have been printed. I don't think it helps the game at all, really. On the play, it's okay. We'll keep this. Land Scroll. Cool, we had a 2-drop. Go ahead and name Human here. And we'll protect. I mean, they might not run any removal on 2, but on the off chance they do. This is huge, though. The fact that they're not going to counter anything anyway. But the fact that they could not counter something if they wanted to means Adeline is guaranteed to resolve, and we have Skrelv guaranteed to protect it. So that's insane. This card, oh man, this card is too good. I really don't think we needed this card. Alright, thank you for staying to the end. If you enjoyed today's video, please drop a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.